Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sam Roberts Wrestling Podcast. Introducing your host from New York, here is Sam Roberts.
But before we get to the Q&A, as you said, one of the people that you're looking forward to seeing the most at SummerSlam is here with us today at Summer, Sam. So without further ado, why don't we welcome to the stage the boss, Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks, everybody. Sasha Banks. Yeah, that's yours. Yank it out of there.
Hello.
There you go.
Hi.
All right. Sasha Banks. Does that ever not be exciting? Like, does that ever become the regular?
That's it every single day. Sasha, that's all I hear. Even my mom calls me Sasha Banks, and I'm just like, all right, Mom.
Does your mom call? Because I've talked to you before, and you're like, you know, there's a you out of the spotlight,
yeah.
and there's a Sasha Banks in the spotlight, but you're saying that Sasha Banks has started following you home and just completely inundating your life.
It's so annoying. I can't remember the last time I actually heard my real name before. But no, it's great because Sasha Banks sounds like such a star name.
Yeah.
And being in the WWE has been my dream for so long. So it's like I'm living my dream every single day. It's awesome.
Well, let's go back to that. Who back in the day, who came up with the name Sasha Banks? Was that a you creation? Was that a
kind of both? So when I got down to FCW, the head people always told us to write down a list of names, and I wrote down Sasha with a different last name, and honestly I can't remember what it was, and I wrote down Banks with a different first name, and then a week later Sarah Del Rey came up to me and she was like, "Your new name's Sasha Banks," and I was like, "Oh, it is? Oh. All right, cool."
Okay.
And then a week later I got a text from my mom being like, "That's a terrible name. I just looked it up. There's a porn star named Sasha Banks. You have to change it. You can't have that name. God doesn't like that." I'm like, "Mom, I just got signed by the WWE. I can't change my name. Sasha Banks is my name, period." All right? I feel like everyone's name is some type of porn star name. So
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to know
No,
the
there's
terribleness
probably
that
a Sam
Sam
Roberts
Roberts.
out there.
Yeah. No, that's why I don't Google myself because
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not. Actually, I'm the Sam Roberts that other people named Sam Roberts
Probably.
are like, no, he's Sam Roberts. I can't be. So, but did you take to it immediately? Was it something that like before you knew it was a porn star's name? Was it something that rang like, yeah, that's got a ring to it. I can work with this.
Honestly, I always really thought my wrestling name would be Mercedes. I always saw that. So I remember in the Independence, the head guy of Chaotic, he's like, "You need a last name." I'm like, "Well, I just like being called Mercedes. I don't want a last name." But there was another wrestler named Mercedes Martinez, who's actually in the Mae Young Classic, which is so cool.
Yeah.
And they were pretty much saying that I wouldn't really get booked because of her name. So I was trying to think of what can I have for a last name, and I just thought, okay, well, my last name is Kessner Renato, so Mercedes KV. And then it just really didn't really ring, but that was my indie name. So I was kind of hoping when I came to WWE that it would be Mercedes, but they didn't want to copyright that. So
I was about to say, there's also a car.
there's
I don't know
there's
if
a
you
lot
know,
of
there's
things.
yeah,
there's a lot
there's
of
a
things
car
like
named
that.
Mercedes.
But once I got Sasha Banks, I was just like, no, something was very clicky about it. I liked
Yeah.
it.
What do you think? The Sasha Banks that we got to know in NXT, I don't know if that Sasha Banks has yet come to Monday Night Raw. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
Sasha Banks that came out of the Escalade and was like a bad guy Sasha Banks, not ratchet Sasha Banks. You know, I mean, I think a lot of us remember that period of time is what first got you noticed.
Yeah.
Is that something that you feel like, okay, this is an evolutionary thing and that was in the past, or is that a place where you want to revisit?
No, definitely. But I feel like with WWE, you always have to evolve. And when I came to WWE, or when I came to Monday Night Raw, I was still this bad guy, but very confused again of who I was because they just got thrown into this really random but great group, Team Bad. And when we kind of found out that we were going to be, hell yeah, Team Bad. In the house.
Okay.
when I found out I was gonna be in this group, I was like, okay, and then what? Where are we going? What's the point? So we're in a group, but the ultimate goal is to always be a champion. So how out of the 3 are we gonna be champions? So I was confused on that, and just getting called up, I was so nervous because we were getting so much time in NXT, and everybody was talking about the women in NXT, and still when on Raw, we were still getting only 2-minute matches and like just no storylines, and it didn't feel like they really still cared. But I knew that it wasn't easy when I first started NXT, and it wasn't how it was like it is now. So I knew that we would have to start over and rebuild, and now we're here, and it's amazing, it's incredible. But I think due to that match I had at NXT Brooklyn, the fans respected my work more. So it's because of you guys that I'm a good guy. So when you guys decided to boo me, then maybe I can be not Ratchet Sasha Banks, right? From NXT, but we'll see. Thank you.
Well,
I like me, but
that's a difficult thing, though, because, like, you can do the Sasha Banks character, but the minute anybody is like, really, what's going on? It's like you're this girl who had a dream and you're crying and you're like, look, I'm on the building. And so it's like the person who you are that we kind of see becomes so sympathetic. And, yeah, she is like us, that it's kind of difficult to be like, no, I'm better than you.
I still am better than you.
Okay, that's she meant all of us, not just me.
It's true.
Right?
It's damn true.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. So do you have any idea, or were there any conversations as to what the plan for Sasha Banks was at SummerSlam before Bayley got hurt? Because now we know you're in the women's championship match. Yes. And I think, everybody loves Bayley. I love Bayley, and no offense to Bayley, but I think that's the match a lot of people wanted to see anyway. But it didn't happen until
it's
Bayley
crazy
got
how it happened
hurt.
too. And I don't know if I can really reveal the secrets of what I heard rumblings of, but I thought I was gonna go into a longer storyline with Alexa Bliss, especially after Great Balls of Fire and her running away and all that breakdown stuff. So I thought after that, and then Raw Talk happened, and I thought maybe the next day I'll have a promo. No, just a random tag match again. Then next week another tag match, and then a match against Bayley to determine who's gonna wrestle Alexa Bliss. I'm like, don't I automatically get a rematch? So I honestly thought it was gonna be me versus Alexa at SummerSlam in the first place.
Yeah.
And for some reason, Bayley always beats me, huh?
Yeah. It's true. It's true.
But it's crazy how things work out, huh? And now I'm here, and she's hurt, which really, really sucks.
Well,
But,
that's what I want to ask you, too,
yeah.
about, like, somebody like Bayley, who's not only a person that you work with, but is your close friend.
Yeah.
But it's not the worst news in the world for you when she gets hurt. Where do you come to terms on that? Because I would think that you're excited about having this match at SummerSlam.
Oh, no, I am 100% excited. I mean, SummerSlam in Brooklyn's one of my favorite places to wrestle, because you guys are so amazing all the time. But, I mean, I can't imagine the feeling that she's going through right now, being injured. She even texted me last night. She's like, I miss wrestling, and she's only been out for, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
So it's like, I can't imagine how she's feeling, and, just being injured, like, so many things go through your mind, like, oh, can I do what I used to do? Can I still do it? This and that. But opportunities happen, and I took it.
Right.
So
yeah, and you've
this
been injured
Sunday-
before. You're like, and guess what?
I
I'm not
have?
the one who's injured now.
Have I been injured before?
Well, you've been out of action
I've been
before.
out of action, and I've been off of TV due to just there's nothing for me.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's not. Wait, I thought you didn't ever have a back injury or anything?
No,
Oh. You're just at home.
I was just at home.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd
There's
rather
nothing
be.
for me.
If I was gonna be at home, I'd rather be at home without a back injury than
Me
with a back
too,
injury,
yes,
right?
me too.
You can enjoy yourself.
Me
at
too. I
least.
thought we talked about that story
Yeah,
last
we
time I
did.
was on.
We did. But they weren't all here.
Oh, well, I'll run it down real quick. So we had an Australia tour, and the travel was absolutely insane, legit, like on an airplane every single day. And I came back to the States, and it was Monday Night Raw, and I really couldn't bend my back because I was just sitting on an airplane so long. And the doctor was like, you can't bend your back? Oh, we're going to get you x-rays. You're going to be out. And I was like, wait, what? Got x-rays, and it just determined that I had a bruised back. But I have bruised bones every single day, so I was out due to that, and I just had to show the doctors that I could wrestle and take a bump, and that took maybe like a month to show them. They're just like, you need to rest at home, this and that. But thank God for our doctors. I needed the rest. My back was driving me crazy, but it was just because of the travel, and that's the hardest thing for me is the travel. I feel like I get injured way more just sitting in an airplane or sitting in a car for 8 hours. You're just kind of like just crunched up like this, and you're moving and you're sleeping like this, and your neck, and it just sucks. That's the worst part.
Yeah. Which is really, I mean, we see people get slammed and thrown off Hell in a Cells and things like that, and you're like, yeah, but you should sit in a car.
Yeah, you
It's
should sit in a
even
car
worse.
for 8 hours or fly 16 hours and not move. So
Do you have something, and I asked you this the last time, but a lot's happened since the last time. Is there, I talked about the Hell in a Cell, is there a thing right now that like you look at and you're like, yeah, that's what I'm standing on? Meaning like
as in like what other matches or
another match or like a goal that you achieved or like, because obviously the Hell in a Cell had to have been a huge moment.
It was huge.
Not only because it's a female Hell in a Cell match, but because you headlined the show. We closed
it. That was the first ever time for a woman to main event a Raw pay-per-view. And it's so crazy. I found out just due to that Mick Foley promo. Like, they didn't come up to me and like, oh, you're going to be in a Hell in a Cell match. How do you feel? Do you feel comfortable? Do you want to do it? No, just from that promo. Like, wait, I'm going to be in a Hell in a Cell match? What?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ready for it, even though it's been a dream of mine. So,
But it's one thing for it to be a dream of yours. It's another thing for it to be like, yeah, we're doing it.
yeah.
You're
No,
like,
you're going to do it.
That's so you're like us in the sense that like we're watching this Mick Foley promo and we're like, wait, I think I know where this is going.
Yeah, and I'm like, wait, what's going on? A Hell in a Cell. Oh, okay. So I don't know. I mean, Money in the Bank was a big one for me, but SmackDown got it. Dang it.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. They did incredible. I think for me, little goals is to main event just house shows. The girls haven't closed a house show yet.
That's really interesting.
And of course, to main event WrestleMania. That's a huge
Sure.
dream.
Sure.
A huge, huge, huge dream.
How did you feel about the decision? So when SmackDown did the women's Money in the Bank ladder match,
Yeah.
Carmella was able to win because James Ellsworth,
Yep.
a man, climbed the ladder. I know.
No chin.
He has no chin. Climbed the ladder and took the briefcase down, and a lot of people were upset about it because, they thought it would be one of these moments that we've seen a lot of recently.
Yeah.
Where'd you land on that?
I was confused
Mm-hmm.
just because then they did it a week later and she still won, but without him. So why couldn't she win without him the first time?
Why wouldn't you just...
It's a little weird.
Yeah.
But knowing our company, everybody was talking about it, and that's
Everybody-
what they wanted. So
Yeah. Everybody was
that's-
talking about
yeah.
it. Is that one of the tougher things psychologically? Like you were talking about not knowing you had a Hell in a Cell match coming up. You were talking about joining Team Bad and not knowing where it's going.
yeah.
The fact that things can be week to week, or maybe they're not, and you just aren't informed of things. But
Yeah.
But the fact that as far as you know, what you're doing is week to week and it's live TV, so it changes
All the time.
constantly. Like
Yeah.
psychologically, that has to be insane.
It is. It's very hard. And I think that's what was different about NXT too. We kind of always knew where we were going. So it helped me prepare and think of ahead of time, like, how can I make this better? But when I go to Raw, it's legit, like, I have no clue what I'm doing. So I don't even know what to prepare for. I'm just kind of like handed something or told something. And I was like, okay, I have 1 hour to get, okay. All right, let's just do it. So I honestly, I wish we had the opportunity to know what we're doing in the next 3 months. If we're going with a storyline, I would like to know, yeah, we're going with you and Alexa, and this is where we want to take it and where we want to go, instead of just being, oh, maybe you'll have a tag match, maybe you'll have a promo, maybe you'll have this random match that doesn't make any sense, or
Who
whatever.
knows?
What? Who knows? Or you just sit in catering. Who knows?
Playing devil's advocate, like, does it prepare you in a way for literally anything that you
Oh.
have to be ready to? You don't know what they're going to throw at you, so
Oh,
you're now at
absolutely.
the point where you can do anything.
And I think that's with all our superstars.
Yeah.
None of them know what's going on. So when you see Monday Night Raw, we're all surprised, and sometimes we're even confused where we're going.
Yeah.
And maybe sometimes they don't even follow through with the storyline, which kind of sucks sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of fans have noticed too. I mean, and we talk about it, how the Sasha Banks career path goes a lot like this.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? Like 1 week you're like, of course Sasha's the #1 contender, and the next week it's like, well, I don't know what Sasha's doing over there
Yeah.
somewhere, and it can be a week to week thing.
It is.
Does that shoot your confidence? Meaning like, oh, I can't tell where I stand, or is it another just scenario of I'm just gonna do what I'm asked to do to the best
A
of my
little bit
ability?
of both, and I'll be honest about something about I'm a 3-time Raw Women's Champion, right?
Yes. Yes.
Which is awesome. Within a whole year, I was a 3-time Women's Champion, which
Yeah.
to me is a lot. But I'm a 3-time 2-week holder of a championship.
Right.
So that took away my confidence so much because I was like, okay, I lost this the first time. That's fine. Then I won it back. I was like, oh, okay. Maybe I can show them that I can keep it longer than 2 weeks. And I don't know, was it something with me or do they just want to keep on flipping, flopping? I don't know. So the last reign, I wasn't used the Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
And then the following week, Charlotte closed out Raw, cutting a promo on her father. I run out and get beat up by Charlotte. And then the following pay-per-view, which was an Iron Woman match, I tapped out with 1 second left and went to overtime and tapped out.
Right.
So for me, you're telling me I couldn't hold on for 1 more second not to tap out, but then
Yeah.
I still lose. And so it's stuff like that that kind of really brought down my confidence. And I was like, maybe there's something wrong with me where they don't see me fit as a champion, or legit, they just wanted to have all these different title changes and have people talk about it.
Yeah, right. There's
So-
this other, I mean, more optimistic view of we want this world to exist where you don't know who's going to win. There's
Yeah.
not a clear-cut thing.
Because I never knew it was going to happen. But then the last round, I'm like, okay, I got 2 more weeks till the pay-per-view. I might lose, I might win. I have no idea. And those things I didn't find out until the day of or the night of.
And probably as somebody who grew up as a fan, you more than being a 4, 5, 6-time champion, you want to be one of those people who has the title for.
A long time,
Right.
not 2 weeks.
Right.
So for this match this upcoming Sunday, I really just want to show that I can do it. And I haven't won a match at the Barclays Center at a big pay-per-view either. So I just need to show to myself that I can do it. And I can show to the company that I can be a champion more than 2 weeks. And I want to be going down in history as the greatest women's champion of all time. Because I'm already going down as the greatest women's wrestler of all time.
Wow. So when you find out like the Mae Young Classic is happening, and it's happened, but it's getting ready to air.
Yeah.
So do you look at that as a positive? Like, yes, this is just bringing more attention to the women, and it's women wrestling. It's not this
Yeah.
other thing. Or are you like, oh my God, like I have to continue to step my game up because.
Well, both.
Right.
Yeah. I was doing the Australia PR tour during that time, and I was like, how am I not a part of this? I couldn't believe they booked it like that. And I remember I had Bailey FaceTime me just so I can watch one match, because I'm like, I felt like I helped so much with this women's evolution, and that we were doing something so special with the Mae Young Classic, and having women who, man, they work their butts off for so many years just to try to get a look at WWE, and women that you would never even think twice would even step foot in a WWE ring are in a WWE ring, showing that women can do it better than the guys. And I definitely know that we can do it better than guys every single week. We want to prove that. So the Mae Young Classic, to me, it's something so important, and it shows just the fans, and I think it just shows the company how far we've gone in the WWE. It's incredible.
How do you feel as a private person? How do you feel about being a role model? Because like that's how, I don't want to say you're being marketed, but that's how you're being perceived as a person who is a role model and a person who should be a role model. You've got Barbie dolls coming out in your likenesses.
Oh.
You've got, I mean, it's everything, and it's obvious that WWE is going full force on, hey, young girls, look at these women. These are
Yeah.
women that you should aspire to be. Is that tough? Because I think a role model is not just an on-screen character,
Oh,
right?
right.
That's
how you
something that-
act off screen.
that's
too.
something that follows you.
It is. It's very hard, but it's honestly the best feeling in the world. When I went to Comic-Con and I walked in and I saw this little girl with a purple wig, she was probably around 6 years old. And when I walked in, she just started bawling her eyes out. And I looked at her mom, I'm like, is she okay? She's like, yeah, she just loves you so much. I was like, wow, okay. So then we went into the Q&A part, and I didn't see the little girl, so I just thought maybe she went to the bathroom. And next thing you know, I just hear this little voice saying, Sasha, I love you. And she ran up to me and just gave me the biggest hug, and she wouldn't let go. And I was just like, this is the greatest feeling ever. The fact that I meant so much to a 6-year-old, that she's crying and she wants to dress up like me, like that means a lot to me. And it means that I need to, protect this image that we're trying to do and protect just women's wrestling. I feel like it's so important, and it's so cool when I have fathers come up to me or even mothers say, I can watch wrestling with my little girl because of you.
Right. So that's the image that you have in mind.
Yes.
And I mean, I would imagine too that an interaction like that is going to make it so like, you know what, I'm not so caught up in the week to week. Am I being used for
no.
this? Am I
Yeah.
like look at like that?
It's
That's a
always
real
the little
life thing,
things.
right?
Yeah, it's the little things that we get to do, like getting a Barbie, or just the thought behind having a first ever women's Hell in a Cell or a Money in the Bank ladder match. Like, regardless the outcome or what's going to happen, just that standpoint alone and knowing what we're doing and accomplishing in the Mae Young Classic, that means more than any outcome in the world.
Yeah. And by the way, I mean, save for Kathy Kelly, who I consider more like a host of this, you're the first female guest on a SummerSlam. So that's pretty iconic too.
We're doing it.
Right? That's a big deal. That's a big deal. So have you worked on your airport face at all?
You mean this one?
That's the one. That's the one.
What, you want me to talk about how much I hate being bothered at the airport or hotels?
I'd love for you
mean-
to talk about that. Because there's a
It is.
right, there's a difference between like a 6-year-old coming up to you and being like, I love you, and then
Right.
somebody coming up to you at the airport with 9 8x10s and being like,
It's-
I love you too.
To me, I have such a big, and I grew up a wrestling fan, so I knew that I wanted to meet all my favorite wrestlers, but always in the back of my head, I never thought in my life to be like, hey, they're gonna fly in. Maybe I should wait at the airport for 12 hours at a gate. Hey, they don't want any sleep. Let me go find their airport or their hotel that they're staying at and let me bother them. Like, to me, that's stalking. I don't tweet out what hotel I'm at. I don't tweet out what airline I'm flying out. I do tweet you what arena I will be performing at.
Right.
So I do expect fans at the arena, and I'm so happy to sign at the arena. That's fine, because I'm telling you where I'm going to be at. If I see you in public, that's fine. But when I'm at an airport at 4 a.m. and I see somebody with a carry-on, and then they open it with 100 items of everyone, and they're bothering everybody to get an autograph, and then
Right.
I see it on eBay, that's not okay to me.
Sir, you are in the arrivals. That is not luggage.
Yes.
You are not traveling
And
anywhere.
the biggest thing for me, it's crazy. So I got a concussion from a referee. I don't know if you guys heard that story online. He gave me a shining wizard in a match, and I got concussed. So I
The
got
referee did on purpose?
not on purpose,
Oh.
but he has really bad eyes. So I got flown home on a Monday. Monday, that's not normal. I usually get home on a Tuesday, but you guys don't need to know. On a Monday, and there was fans at the airport with my stuff to sign, and I was signing. I was like, wait, how'd you guys know what time I landed and that I was going to be here? They go, oh, we called the airport, and we asked if you're flying in anytime soon and give us a phone call. I go, give me this. Leave
you
me
really?
alone. Yes.
Wow.
Because that's not okay.
Yeah.
It's not okay. That's private information, and to me, that's stalking.
Yeah.
It is creepy.
Yeah. So when the picture goes viral of you with the airport face on,
Oh yeah.
are you like, I don't want that image, or are you like, no, I want people to know?
No, it's fine. Like, if you keep on pushing my buttons, be like, okay, one picture, just one picture, one selfie. This is the face I'm gonna get, because I'm not happy to see you.
Right.
If we have an autograph signing, if we're at an arena, I'm so excited to see you guys. I'm excited to see you right now.
Right. Right. There's a huge difference.
But 4 a.m, I'm not too happy.
I don't know anybody who's excited to see anybody at 4 in the
Not at
morning,
4 in
quite
the morning.
frankly. No, especially since you just explained flying is worse than
It's the
a Hell in a
worst thing.
Cell
I
match.
hate
So
flying so much.
yeah, yeah. I get it. I get it. Is there anybody out there in terms of women who the WWE doesn't have that you would like to? I mean, I guess
I don't know.
I guess you could include the Mae Young.
There's
competitors
yeah, and there's a lot of women
you'd
that
like
I
to have a
haven't
match
seen
with.
before.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to watch, and I get inspired off of watching great matches.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't wait to see the classic, because I heard all the women have killed it. So it's hard, because I haven't really got to see a lot of women in the independent scene lately. So I don't know
You've
who's
been
out
busy.
there. I've been very busy.
Yeah.
I don't know who's out there or who's the next best thing, but I'm excited for it all. I'm excited for competition, and I hope a lot of girls get caught up because of it.
How do you feel? Intergender wrestling has become something that people are doing on the independents now pretty regularly. How do you feel about that? Because a lot of people have very mixed opinions about
Yeah,
it.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Because it's weird. I honestly, I want to be able to take on Roman Reigns.
Right.
He's way bigger than me.
He's huge.
But I definitely take on Enzo. I'd beat him in a heartbeat. So it's weird. I don't know. I don't know where we draw the line.
Right. Maybe some kind of weight class
Yeah,
system.
maybe there should be a weight class or something.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't make sense, right? A lot of the women could pop up on 205 Live.
Yeah,
Why not?
definitely. Why not?
Would you fight Kalisto?
I would love to fight Kalisto. He's so cute. He's one of my favorites.
That's amazing. Well, look, I'm sure that a lot of you have questions for Sasha Banks.
Yay.
So what I'd like to do, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to turn the microphone over to you guys, do a little Q&A. Get your questions ready. We'll be right back. It's SummerSlam. Sasha Banks is here.
That's right.
Stay tuned. Welcome back. It's SummerSlam 3. We're at Caroline's on Broadway here in New York City.
New Day Rocks. I always hear that too before the shows.
Sasha Banks just likes chants.
I really do love chants. They're cool.
Sasha Banks is here with us, and we were just talking to her, but I wanted to give you guys the opportunity to also talk to the legit boss herself. So if anybody has any questions, you can raise your hands, and the amazing Kathy Kelly will approach you with a microphone.
Nice shirt.
Where are you from?
No, Long Island.
Nick is wearing a Hell in a Cell shirt
That's right. Represent.
featuring Sasha Banks and Charlotte.
And my
Did you, by the way, before you, did you like that match?
I'm so hard on myself when it comes to matches.
Uh-huh.
So I actually didn't get to watch it back in full yet.
Because you don't like to watch yourself back?
yeah, I get so nervous.
Yeah.
I hate watching myself.
Have you watched back the, what matches of yours have you watched back?
Just NXT Brooklyn.
That's what I was going to ask about.
What else?
You like that one?
I do like that one.
That's a good one.
I'm trying to think what else.
Not too many.
Not too many.
Yeah.
I need to, but it hurts my heart when I watch myself. I gotta go like this. I'm like, oh.
All right, so what's going Nick is your name?
Yep.
What's going on, Nick?
Questions about the Hell in a Cell. Were there any spots that you and Charlotte pitched to the higher ups? They just said no way, too dangerous, or where you had complete creative control?
A lot of inside lingo there. Were there any any moves or anything that you wanted to do in the match that was a little too much?
I think the only thing they really said no to was when I pushed Charlotte off the table and she just bumped. I wanted to give her the double knees off, and they said it was too dangerous. And I was like, really? So that would happen. That's why there was just a little push.
That was it?
Yeah, that was it.
Who else do we have?
We have David. What's your question?
How was it dancing with Rick Swan on Monday Night Raw?
Look, Rich Swann is a hell of a dance partner.
He's a great dancer, and it's so funny. I remember I think it was Scott Armstrong was our agent too, and he's like, Vince wants you to dance, so you're gonna dance. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. And then I got back, Vince loved you dancing, so you gotta keep on dancing. I'm like, all right, I'll dance all day. I was like, dance on. It was fun. I had a great time.
Yeah, and that would also explain why the partnership lasted like a month.
Yeah.
Because somebody likes to watch you
Someone
dance.
loves dancing. Vince loves dancing.
That's fantastic. Where's Kathy?
Over here.
There you
I got
are.
Patrick from Queens.
How you doing, Patrick, Boulevard Bullies? I actually have a question for Sam.
Okay, I mean,
My Q&A time, but go ahead.
I mean,
Yeah.
we're big fans of yours as well, Sasha.
you could have
but,
asked me
Yeah.
whenever. I mean,
well, Sam, I actually I want to know if you have any advice for startup wrestling journalists. Also, do you mind if you just could scream Onita for us?
I'm probably not going to scream Onita. But yeah, my advice for a startup wrestling journalist would be to get Sasha Banks on your podcast. And I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you what. But not just Sasha Banks because she's this big star. I mean, go and recognize Sasha Banks from back in the day, announce that she's your favorite wrestler, find her in NXT, get her on your podcast,
That's
then have her on your podcast. Yeah. Day one.
Day one-ish, right here.
Yeah.
Hi, Seth from New Jersey. Wanted to ask, since you're on Raw, how much SmackDown do you and maybe the other Raw superstars watch?
You guys have a Raw roster party where you're all just, everybody's coming over to my house for SmackDown.
No, usually when I get home, I always DVR SmackDown, so I always watch it. It's one of my. I love that show. It's great. 2 hours long, easy to follow. I love AJ Styles. He's my favorite.
Yeah.
So I'm a huge fan of SmackDown.
We did an interview, I think, right before the brand split, and you talked about wanting to go to SmackDown, which I think probably had a lot to do with like Eddie Guerrero
Yeah.
and the whole legacy of SmackDown. Is that something that you still have in you, or are you more just moving with what's moving?
Kind of both.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I remember I really wanted to go to SmackDown because I always just pictured SmackDown more of just the wrestling show.
Right.
And then Raw happened, and I feel like we did a couple like run-ins on SmackDown, and I went there, and I just kind of felt like it was just too laid back. Like I kind of I like the rush of SmackDown. I mean of Raw and not knowing what you're doing sometimes, and just being thrown out there. And I felt like I was sitting backstage at SmackDown forever, and I was like, when do you guys do anything? it was just too laid back for me. So wherever they take me, I'll go. I really miss New Day. So
Yeah.
I want to be reunited with them. I miss Tamina and I miss Naomi, and I really want to be around AJ Styles. He is the best. I want to pick his brain. He's so good.
He really is good.
He's the best.
I kind of feel like you want to be drafted to like SmackDown in like 2003. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
that's the era that I want,
That's what
for
you're
sure.
looking for. Where'd
Over
you go,
here, got
Kathy?
Chris from Long Island.
Hi, Sasha. I'm a big fan. Representing House of Glory as well.
Hell yeah.
I have a question. If there was a Raw Women's Tag Team Championships, who would you, besides Bailey, who would you team up with?
Oh, if you wanted to win the Raw Women's Tag Team Championship, you can't pick Bailey.
Damn it. Aw.
So,
Who else would I pick?
and obviously you can't pick Rich Swann.
I think I would have to choose Mickey James.
Oh, good answer. What do you think about the? I've floated it around just as an idea. Like people float around like because the women are so good but split. Like, do you think that the women would benefit from all being on one show the way the cruiserweights are all on one show, or do you like that there's representation?
I like that there's both. I think just having a woman's show, I don't know how I'd feel just playing that like a woman's show every single week. Maybe it'd be awesome.
Right.
But
what about if just like if
the women were just together on one show?
right, the women are just on SmackDown, saying the tag teams are on Raw or whatever.
I don't know. Just because we're getting at least SmackDown has 2 women's storylines going on. But I feel like we wouldn't be all used if we're
Right.
all on just one show.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes
And like,
sense.
there's 2 champions, which are really awesome. So Naomi's the champion right now. I'll be the champion on Monday.
Hey.
It'll be awesome.
We
There
got
she is.
Derek from Staten Island over here.
Just a real quick question. What do you think of a women's Royal Rumble happening anytime soon?
That's another thing that's been floated around.
I
A
keep
women's
hearing that,
Royal
yeah.
Rumble match.
I think that would be incredible. I hope it happens, and I hope they bring back Trish and Lita. Like, I would love to have that happen and have all the old school women come back.
Would you
yeah.
do a full 30?
Oh, make it a 60.
You do a 60 women Royal Rumble.
My
all
cardio
right.
game is strong.
We got John from the Bronx over here.
Who would you like to main event in WrestleMania?
That's a great question, actually, because you said your goal was to main event WrestleMania. But what do you want to do in that main event?
I would love to have the 4-way with the 4 horsewomen.
Okay. Okay. That's that headline match. Let's see, who's over here?
Hey, it's me. I'm Frank. I'm from Astoria. What's going on, Sasha?
What's up, Frank?
Right on the
It's me,
heels of
Mario.
talking about the 4 horsewomen there. When will we have the 4 horsewomen versus the 4 horsewomen Survivor Series match?
Oh, he's talking, of course.
And
but
where do you fall on Ronda Rousey?
That's a great question. So, Ronda Rousey, of course, has the other 4 horsewomen of MMA, one of which is in the Mae Young Classic. Is that, I guess, the first question is, where do you fall on Ronda Rousey?
She's an amazing athlete. She's changed the game. But I just feel like I keep hearing rumblings of that too, which is cool. It's awesome. But we are the 4 horsewomen, and they're just fans.
Wow.
Yeah. And if they wanted to fight us, they need to get in the back of the line like everybody else, get a contract, train down at the Performance Center, get on NXT, and try to get called up just like everybody else.
I see. So as far as this game, Ronda Rousey is not quite on your level yet.
No,
No.
she'll
Love
never
that.
be.
Love that. Yeah, right? Who's next? Kathy, are we gossiping?
Hey, Sasha. Hey, Sam.
Hey, man.
Hi.
Gabriel from Brooklyn. My question is, if you had a choice to wrestle Peyton Royce or Billy Kay when they come up, any preference there?
Oh, I don't like to choose like that.
Yeah, that really is like
That's kinda mean.
direct and leaving.
I
like
would have
this
to
one
choose,
better than that
Peyton Royce, because she just reminds me a lot of myself. We both love Eddie Guerrero, and I've been in the ring with her before at house shows down in NXT, and she has a great mind. And I look forward to both of them being called up. Very soon.
Is there any, when you look at what's going on with the women in NXT right now, especially with like Asuka and Ember Moon and all these people, does it feel like, oh, I missed out, I wish I was there, or does it feel like, no, our class graduated and that's the next class?
No, I feel like it's time to grow up and move on. I know for the first couple months when I got called up to the main roster, I was like, oh, I miss wrestling in NXT.
Well, part of that was because
so much.
Bailey wasn't there yet either.
That's true.
Right.
But I feel like the women's division down there hasn't really taken off the way that I would like it should have been.
Sure.
And I would love to face Asuka. I mean, I don't understand why she's the longest reigning champion because I'm not down there. But
see.
they have so many incredible women down there, and I wish they were used more.
Yeah.
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 That's what I have to say about that.
We have Samson from Brooklyn.
That was a Forrest Gumpism. And that's all I got to say about
That's all I
that.
got to say.
How you feel when you debut WWE?
How did it feel?
It felt crazy. I felt so scared, so nervous, and like I heard rumblings that we were going to be called up for a while, and I just didn't know. I had no clue. So when I finally got the call from Carano, maybe the week before, he's like, "Don't tell anybody." Blah 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 blah. And it kind of broke my heart because I was like, well, I'm gonna tell Becky because she was my best friend.
Mhm.
I told her, and she's like, oh, I got the call too. And I was like, oh, you did? I was like, okay, I gotta tell Bailey. I'm like, Bailey, I'm getting called up. She goes, yeah, I know. And I was like, you didn't get the call? And she's like, no, but it's okay. And like that just broke my heart in a million pieces. And it took me like so much courage to even tell her because I was so nervous.
You didn't tell her Becky got called up too, did you?
No,
That would
I
have been
didn't.
terrible timing.
But I think Matt Bloom had the talk with her before, letting him know that these three are getting called up and you're going to stay down here, and But it all works out,
Yeah.
and we're all up here together, and it's incredible.
Yeah. Who else is over there, Kathy?
We got Jay from Manchester, England.
Oh, hello.
Ooh.
Hiya, Sasha. England loves you. England loves you. You're my favourite wrestler at the moment.
Thank you.
And for the long time.
Don't qualify compliments.
Yeah.
People do that to me too.
I like
don't, at the moment, just say I'm your favorite wrestler, or she's your favorite wrestler.
England is known for our partying, so how are you going to celebrate when you become the new women's champion on Sunday?
Ooh, I'm gonna have a pizza like I always do, and maybe a couple glasses of wine to make me relax.
Okay.
I love
Not a-
drinking. Woo! I'm grown. I can drink.
Hello, Sasha.
What's up?
My name is Keon Torres. I'm from Harlem, New York.
Oh,
And
nice.
I don't know, what's up, Sam?
How are you?
So my
dismissive.
question is, where do you see women's wrestling going from like the next 5 to 10 years?
Oh, wow, that's hard, man. Because I never thought it was gonna be like this 5 years ago. So I think the sky's the limit. They'll definitely be tag team champions. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Anything that we want to happen will happen. I believe that.
But tag team champions are the next.
I feel like
going to be
the
the next big
I feel
thing.
like that's the next big thing. We need it.
Yeah.
We need something else to fight for than just the women's championship.
Yeah, no, that's true. Especially as the rosters continue to grow and
Yeah.
grow and grow and grow.
I'm with Haven.
My question is, what is your dream type of match, and who would your opponent be?
Dream type of match. I think of course, against Bailey. Just a regular match with her with no time limit. That's what.
Just go. Just to go.
Doesn't matter.
What's been
I gotta beat her somehow.
What's been the match or the moment that's given you the most butterflies before you come out? Because there's been so
Oh,
many. You
gosh.
think about We talked about NXT Brooklyn.
Yep.
There was the first WrestleMania. There was getting called up. There was, I mean,
Oh.
maybe it was the NXT debut. Who knows?
That's
like,
so
what was?
hard. I feel like the first big one was my match against Charlotte at NXT TakeOver. I forget which one it's called, but the first one I've had with her. I remember just because that was the first time to really show what I was able to do, and I was so nervous and scared. Gosh, Brooklyn was a weird feeling. I remember crying my eyes out, but then when I walked through that curtain, or drove through that curtain,
Yeah.
I had such, like, that was the calmest feeling I've ever had wrestling. Like, I've never felt so just like relaxed and at ease because of the crowd. They just erupted, and I was like, wow, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be great.
Yeah.
And of course, I think WrestleMania too. I was shaking. And I remember when I came back, I was just bawling my eyes out. And like Stone Cold Steve Austin gave me a hug, and I was like, what? What is going on? Oh my God! Stone Cold Steve Austin.
How long does it take you to come down from that, from like the WrestleMania match? Like, cause you're a wreck before.
Yeah.
You do it, it's successful. You come back, and like, how long does that process to just go back into normal?
It takes a while, and definitely for me, because I felt like I personally didn't really like my performance in that match, so I was just like really disappointed. But everyone came back and was like, "No, that was awesome. That was awesome." So it takes me a while to be like, "Okay, was it awesome? Did I do okay? Did this happen?" Maybe it takes like a couple hours. That's why I need a glass of wine every night before I go to bed. I'm just like, I need something to unwind and just be like, get my mind off so much stuff.
Yeah.
I just think about it all the time. Like, wait, did we get the reaction that we wanted? Did the fans care? Just all that stuff.
That's
goes
so
through my
interesting,
mind.
though. It's like it's not so much like reflecting on like the things you've accomplished because you're still in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, is this working? Is that working? I gotta keep going.
I
Gotta
just
keep
want to
going.
have the
gotta-
best matches ever. That's my goal.
Well, hopefully you will have one of the best matches ever
Hopeful.
at SummerSlam against
hopefully.
Alexa Bliss. All the ingredients are there.
I hope so.
Let's give a big round of applause to Sasha Banks. Thank you so much. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with Seth Rollins, and we'll be right back. Thank you, Sasha.